the students, there's no job. They finish school, there's no job for them.
We analyze the undercurrents, expose the intrigues, and break down the narratives that define our democracy. Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki delivering razor-sharp analysis, and Ibuka Franklin and Chisom on the question wheel, driving the conversation. We bring you the most compelling discussions on governance, policies, and power plays. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay ahead. The Polity, every weekdays at 9:15 a.m. Exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha.
Thank you for staying tuned to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. It's 17 minutes past 9 a.m. and we are saying welcome to the Polity Tuesday edition, this 7th day of April 2026. And just to remind you that what we do on Polity is to bring you headlines of various newspapers and then bring you analysis of the topical developments in the land. My name is Franklin Buchanan. We're saying welcome again to today's program. And we have to remind you too that we're live on our Facebook page, Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Get on that very platform and share your view with us on issues we're going to raise this very morning on today's conversation. And at the same time, we are live on our Instagram and YouTube channels, Udala Radio. Get interactive on those platforms. They are all there for us to deepen our conversations. And today, promises to be an exciting one because lots of things happening. And today in the world, today happens to be World Health Day. And on that same day too, we are having National Police Day. So we have two celebrations to mark today. When you talk about World Health Day, it's all about a global celebration which is aimed at, paying attention or focusing on the global health. And World Health Day is observed annually on April 7th. And it marks the anniversary of the World Health Organization founded in 1948. And it focuses on global attention on critical health themes. If you look at this very year, 2026 campaign has a theme that says, Together for Health, Stand with Science. What is that all about? It's emphasizing scientific collaboration and the One Health approach, making a call for evidence-based policies and strengthen health. And a day like this brings to mind the health challenge which Nigeria has been facing since we became independent, because for a long time we have been having health challenges. So the fact that health tourism has become the issue for the day, whereby those who are well-to-do, once they have slightest health challenge, they seek medical care abroad rather than depending on the health sector here in Nigeria. So today it brings to mind for us to ask critical questions about our healthcare system and what can be done to make it better. Then talk about the National Police Day. Of course, today is for the police, and what they do with this very day is that they try to create this very relationship with the people. In fact, it's been a week-long event. It began last week. They began with a walk, or rather, they began with this outreach. Medical outreach, work, and what have you not. And today happens to be the grand finale, so to say. So what that simply means is that there's going to be this very parade at the Eagle Square in Abuja, and it's going to feature tactical displays by special units, including the PPMF, EOD, CTU, and what have you not. They are going to demonstrate the operational readiness of the Nigerian police force. So We felicitate with the Nigerian Police Force as they mark National Police Day. I think this should be the second edition of this very National Police Day. So aside from these two development today, of course, we have other things in the papers. Talking about the ADC still in the news. ADC is alleging that INEC is tactically trying to deprive it the chance to take part in the 2027 general election. If you also check the papers too, you see that resident doctors are in the news because they are meant to commence a strike this very morning. But I spoke with the head of the caucus of resident doctors in the Southeast, Dr. Etieke, this very morning. He told me that as we speak now, that they are in a meeting, trying to review everything. So at the end of the meeting, they will not know whether the strike is going to continue in earnest or if there is any intervention. So lots of other things are in the papers that we are going to look at this very morning. So we ask you to stay with us as we begin today's conversation in earnest. I'm not alone because on the analysis desk is Dr. Tony Sambeki. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning to you, Franklin Ebuka. Good morning to you, everyone. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, the good people of Southeast. Good morning, India Anambra. Good morning, the Onitsha Doni Do. Good morning, Ndosumo. Good morning, everyone under the reach of a voice. It's a very beautiful Tuesday morning, and today being yet another day. We call it Easter Tuesday. Yesterday was Easter Monday, and today is Easter Tuesday. And we know very well that today is 7th day in the month of April in the year 2026. And just as we always say, in that fear, we know very well that the public calls, they're over. We had one on Friday for those who are in civil service or private sector, organized private sector. And we also have another one yesterday, but no more public holiday. I think today is free. Banks are going to open, markets are going to open, everywhere is going to open. So you have to be up and about. You have to be productive today. Even while we are still in the mood of Easter, the celebration continues. While that goes on, we have to ensure that we are productive as well. I want to thank our senior citizens, the pensioners, the fiscal challenge, and also everyone who is doing the good work of the Lord for humanity. I want to thank God Almighty for His mercy, for His love, for His kindness, for everything He has been doing in our lives, for us to witness another miracle. We are back in the sanctuary to profess the truth. And in our altar is the altar of God. You're welcome. Sit back and enjoy the program.
Okay, so we have to go straight to the headlines we have this very morning. On the four newspapers we have The Nation newspaper, Vanguard, Punch, and The Guardian. They are the papers we have this morning. And we'll begin with the headlines we have on The Nation newspaper. The big story there says, we may not be able to field candidates in 2027, says ADC. It has a rider, presidency, your crisis self-inflicted. Civil society group backs electoral agency. That's a big story you can read on the front page of The Nation. And the headline says, 16 are arrested as troops intercept terrorist suppliers in Northeast. That story can be found on page 3 of The Nation newspaper. Above the nameplate, we have 3 headlines today. Okay, 4 of them. And one says, Oyo APC group takes stand on process to pick candidate. That story can be found on page 3. How financial abuses led to CBN's takeover of Union Bank. That story is on page 7. Zamfara government confirms killing of 100 bandits by troops. That story is on page 6. That's quite an interesting one. 100 bandits killed by troops. Agency begins probe of CNG buses explosion on page 6 of The Nation newspaper. Tinubu to inaugurate multiple Lagos state projects. That story is on front page 2 of The Nation newspaper. The 2-day state visit is scheduled for tomorrow and Thursday. So we are going to see Mr. President doing the honors in Lagos State. Then another headline says, World Bank, only 10.5% of Nigerian women in paid employment. That story is on page 4 of The Nation newspaper. We move straight to Vanguard newspaper. The biggest story there says 2027, INEC laying landmines to stop us from fielding candidates. ADC on page 5. The riders include APC plotting. APC plotting doesn't want me on ballot, Obi. We have no hand in Obi's travails, Yewada. ADC youths give INEC 72 hours ultimatum to recognize Mark. INEC keeps mum. Don't truncate Nigeria's democracy. Sislak warns INEC. The story on page 5. And another story here says, when science exists, but care fails. Nigeria's primary health care in crisis on page 3. This should be a special focus as we mark World Health Day today. Then another headline says, Christian leaders raise alarm over insecurity, persecution in northern Nigeria. From that very one, we move to the next one. The picture story there is Mr. President and Jim Ovia, and it has a title, Tinubu receives Jim Ovia. Then on page 8, you see a headline, Article to Tinubu, enough of hollow rhetorics on insecurity on page 8. PDP crisis, Benga Hashim weighs exit option on page 9. Benga Hashim is a presidential aspirant under PDP, but from the look of things, it appears he's thinking of his exit, just like Bala Muhammad is also thinking about his exit from PDP. Union Bank, how controversial transactions led to CBN takeover on page 19. Plateau attack, 7 states evacuate 1,630 students from Unijos. That story is on page 11. Yesterday we read about Delta State government, evacuating about 36 students of Delta State origin from that very university. A writer there says Unijos student injured in attack dies after ICU battle. That story is on page 6 of Vanguard newspaper. NUJ Serap to Tinubu investigates threats against Okimbaloye, other journalists on page 7. FG raises alarm over decline in badge operations, order probe on page 14 of Vanguard newspaper. Then we cross over to the Punch. On Punch, we have the big story that says FG budgets 135 billion naira for 2027 election lawsuits. That story is on page 7. It has riders, opposition, others question massive post-election legal war chest. PDP ADC demands spending breakdown. I went through hell under Amosu Daniel on page 21. Tinubu visit, Lagos deploys 500 additional LASMA officers on page 6 of the Punch newspaper. Doctors begin strike today over arrears on page 21. Electricity tariff hike imminent as Genco step up pressure on page 32. Oyo APC governorship aspirant meet over 2027 consensus deal on page 21. 2027 ADC alleges INEC plot against presidential bid on page 42 of the Punch newspaper. Then over to the Guardian newspaper, we have another story, or the big story there on page 6. It says 10 months to election, opposition fights to stay on ballot amid legal internal conflict. You can see the faces of the opposition party leaders like David Mark, Nenadi Osman, Taminu Turaki. The face of INEC chairman is also on that picture story. Likewise, the face of APC national chairman and the factional chairman of PDP. Obi's team alleges plots against 2027 candidacy as presidency kicks on page 4 of The Guardian. World Health Day concerns over health funding, sustainability as U.S. exit leaves $1.9 billion deficit. Okay. Bandits plan reprisals in Zamfara's Plateau. Benue death toll rises on page 30. Audit links multi-billion naira abuse to Old Union Bank management on page 30 of The Guardian. Tax dominates federal revenue as all income declines by 26% in 15 years. That story can be found on page 15. Inter-Society claims 1,402 Nigerian Christians killed in 96 days. That story can be found on page 7 of Guardian newspaper. And above the nameplate, report banditry weakening Nigeria's state structure on page 3. Makinde Momodu raised concern over devolution into one-party state on page 3. Reconciliation has collapsed in PDP, says ex-chieftain on page 3 of Vanguard newspaper. And these are the headlines we had this very morning on the front page the front pages of the 4 newspapers we brought to you this very morning. So next will be for us to look at what the big stories are on this paper. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
You're listening to The Polity. Get involved now.
Okay, once more, thank you for staying tuned to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. It's 9:31 a.m. My name is Franklin Ebuka, and you are listening to The Polity on Udala Radio 104.7 FM on Onitsha. Tony Lisambeki is on the analysis desk. And like we told you that today's World Health Day, and is a very important day when we talk about the global calendar or the calendar of United Nations. And today it's all about focusing on the need to, raise attention on critical health themes across the globe. And this very World Health Day being marked on April 7th every year is to mark the anniversary of the World Health Organization's founding in 1948. And then, Tony, for us, Nigeria, third world country, whereby every year we talk about health challenge, and we have seen that medical tourism has become the order of the day in the country. You talk about primary health care centers, they are not in good state, and what have you not. We say have people dying from small, minor ailments that ordinarily people should take care of. I was going through certain thing that was over the weekend, and somebody told me a story of, how missionaries, came to Nigeria in those early years when they were trying to bring God the good news. And many of them, while they were coming, they were told story of the kind of hardship they were going to face, the issue with challenge of malaria, snake bite, and what have you not. As of that very moment, there was no healthcare system. The ones we had was nowhere around par, and they were told about the challenges that they could face in case if you have a snake bite. You may not have anti-venom. And the person said that he was still wondering why many years after, even a century year after, somebody was bitten by snake, and we are having questions about whether there was snake, anti-snake venom or not. So, Tony, this day our healthcare system is in focus. This is our challenge in healthcare. What would it take us for us to begin to address it?
Well, we are talking about the healthcare challenge, and of course the World Health Day, which is celebrated every 7th of April every year. And then it's just, as you said, something that began sometime 1948, and since then there has never been any going back. Well, Nigeria has its own plethora of problems, no doubt, and we are where we are. Just like I said earlier on, if you look at the 2016 for this World Health Day celebration, stand with science. That's to tell you that science has come to stay. Technology, science, and the role of science in protecting human health, and also global collaboration in tackling health challenges. More like promoting one health approach, like human health, animal health, environmental health. When we talk about World Health Day, it's not just about human health. It also involves animal health, environmental health. Because if you look at the 2026 edition of the World Health Day, it's calling on governments, scientists, health professionals, the public to trust science, invest in research, and work together. That's the major theme, to build stronger health systems. I'm aware that the campaign highlights clearly the scientific breakthroughs, international cooperation, evidence-based policymaking. We are all aware that even the human immune virus, or the one we call HIV, of course, there is a breakthrough in the realm of science, where there is new antiretroviral drug that can also prevent someone from contracting the virus. It's a breakthrough. So that's why the 2026 edition is calling on everybody, because not just the government, professionals, scientists, and what have you, calling on everybody. The truth is, let's talk about Nigeria. Nigeria is a peculiar case for me, because we have not done anything that would turn around our health system. It is very, very disturbing, if you ask me. Lugubrious, as always. And we have paid lip service in all of this. We know very well that Nigeria's health sector has been plagued for decades by underfunding, the brain drain syndrome, the one we call the chapa of doctors, poor infrastructure, and frequent strikes. I think you are talking about the resident doctors who are planning to go on strike and issues related to that. The issue of doctor strike has become very disturbing and alarming. And I'm not going to talk about what usually trigger the strike. Salary issues, poor working condition, lack of equipment, unfulfilled government agreements, and what have you. Nigeria, of course, we dwell so much in medical tourism. We talked about it. And if we look at what many Nigerians usually treat abroad, they travel primarily they go to India. India remains the top destination for medical tourism in Nigeria. The question is, what did India do differently? Remember, we are at the point in 1960, we are better than India in some of these things, in the health institution, better than India. But today, India has overtaken us to the point that we spend our hard-earned foreign currency in medical tourism. India remains the top, followed by United Arab Emirates, even Turkey, the one we call Turkey, even Egypt, because most northern politicians, they took to Egypt, and also United Kingdom and United States of America for advanced treatments, as we have seen. But if you look at common illness, or maybe let's say common diseases or common illnesses treated abroad, one, cancer, which is more like oncology, either the breast or cervical or prostate or colorectal or liver cancer. And we've seen chemotherapy, radiotherapy, robotic surgery, bone marrow transplant, and also CART therapy. Some of these things are being deployed in most of these countries. They do travel. They're going to talk about cardiac issue or heart conditions, kidney diseases and organs. We've seen chronic kidney diseases, even the liver kidney transplant, even orthopedic conditions, even fertility treatment, something like IVF and reproductive care, even sickle cell, neurosurgery and neurological conditions, both cosmetic and plastic surgery, the one they call BBL. Most of our girls, especially those in Abuja, Lagos, many of them troop to Turkey for BBL. Sometimes they tell you that's what they want to do for men to look at them or for them to be attractive to men. I'm not going to also forget the issue of eye, ophthalmology, either cataract or advanced vision correction, another notable bariatric, even weight loss and dental procedures, hair transplant. There's so many things. This is exactly what Nigerians do outside the country. But let me say, for instance, I have been able to do a study about the money we do spend, and I discover that Nigeria as a country spends close to $2 billion annually for treatments. That's what we spend. $2 billion on average annually for some of this medical tourism. If you plow $2 billion in our Nigerian health system, I will tell you, go and sin no more. That's gonna be the message. Go and sin no more. Do you know what is $2 billion? More than the budget allocation, both capital and recurrent one. That's what we spend abroad. Because we cannot put it at home. We cannot fix our home. We cannot recreate anything at home. We go and give this money to different countries. We also boost their economy. What kind of madness is this? This is total insanity. That which you could use to fix your home, you throw outside. Which government sits down and allow this to be an annual ritual? Which government sit down? Tell me. No sensitive government anywhere. I'm not blaming the present government. I'm telling you, this is the way it had always been. We are our policy makers. Can't we see? Look at some of these common illnesses I mentioned. Can't we see how to work and improve centers here in Nigeria where this can be taken care of? Since it has become more like a common thing, we go outside to trade. And let me say this, because those who are spending these $2 billion, they're in minority. And many Nigerians are wallowing. Many of them cannot even have a good maternity center where they can be delivered of their babies. We've seen the health centers poorly equipped, poorly managed, poorly funded. And if you look at those who are in that very sector, you pity them. A lot of things is going wrong. And we have Ministry of Health. And that Ministry of Health has been existing since 1960. We had independence. That Ministry of Health is still there. What is the effort of that ministry to change this narration? This is a very bad narration. Very bad one. Okay. What is it doing?
All right. So then we might come back to this, but we have something to attend to now. If you look at the newspapers will review the headline this very much. If you look at the headline, you will see a headline that says Inter-Society claims 1,402 Nigerian Christians killed in 96 days. If you look at the version on Vanguard newspaper, that one says 1,402 Nigerians killed, abducted by terrorists in 96 days. And this very report is coming from Inter-Society. That is the organization that has put out this very report. If you go through the story, you see that the International Society for Civil Liberties and the Rule of Law, Inter-Society, has alleged that terrorists killed and abducted 1,402 Christians across Nigeria between January 1 and April 6, 2026. And this very period is covered to the New Year date, which was yesterday. In fact, it was an update which was put out by this Inter-Society, saying that 450 Christians were killed and about 600 abducted within the 96 days. And the figures were contained in a statement which was issued by the organization's chairman, Emeku Balase. And this very morning, we are going to be speaking with him on phone so that we get to hear from the horse's mouth, get to understand how they were able to put together this very figure, how they arrive at the methodology, and see if is something that can be, verified or not. So that's why we're going to link up with Emeku Mabalase, the chairman of Inter-Society, for him to offer insight into this report, which has been put out and already captured by different newspapers, likewise some online platforms. Even this very morning, I saw that report on Daily Post and some other online tabloids. So that's the situation. So Tony, looking at that very report, 1,402 Christians killed in Nigeria within 96 days, and this very report is saying that they were Christians. And does this lend credence to what has been on debate for quite a while in Nigeria? Because we know how some U.S. reps came into Nigeria and alleged Christian genocide. But government has rejected that, saying that that is not a targeted or state-sponsored genocide. And that debate has never left the country because it's been on. And now, see a report coming from Inter-Society, Tony.
Well, remember, Emeku Mawalasi is always in the news. Remember the last time where we are told that a common
screwdriver
trader, he was the one being referred to based on reports that was carried somewhere in United States of America, and then it was something one of the leading media publishing firm used in their own article. But in any case, I've seen the reports, And just as they usually come up with a report like this, they are telling us that about how many thousand people were killed in 96 days. It tells you that there are killings every day in Nigeria, there's no doubt. I cannot pretend that is not so, because we are just coming from the one that happened in Plateau State. Of course, we saw what happened in Benue State immediately after that. We talked about that yesterday. About 1,408 Christians killed in 96 days. And they say that, according to the claim, widespread killing, systemic and systematic persecution, and this could come from either the banditry, kidnapping, terrorism, Boko Haram insurgency. But we must fact-check this report. That's what I do. I always say, whatever I say, you can fact-check me. There's no doubt. Because there are reports that 1,408 Christians killed in 96 days. My fact-checking is partially accurate anyway.
Okay.
Partially accurate, but it's also highly contested. I'm not saying there are no killings in Nigeria. I'm not going to bandy any figure, because the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, Inter-Society, I know he's a Nigerian-based listening, but then I don't know if he's on the line.
Okay, so Tony, we have him online now. We have Emeku Mabala say, good morning, can you hear us?
Well, my brother, I'm here.
All right. Okay. So thank you for joining us on this very show. We are looking at the report that your organization put out, Inter-Society, saying that 1,402 Christians were killed in Nigeria within 96 days. So we want you to run us through this very report. How did you arrive at this very report?
I think there's no need of asking that question if you have full report of the full report we are talking about. Everything was explained in that report. Do you understand? If you have gone through the report, I think the part of the challenges we have is some person try to rely on headline. You read through a report, you see the details, they are contained there.
You know why we're having this conversation is that there are many people who are listening to us who might not have the luxury to go and read them. So that's why it's better for you to speak to them so that they get to understand it.
Well, I already have somebody trying to cast a doubt on our report. I think we encourage everybody to try as much as possible to read. Having said that, you are correct by the headline, by the caption. In a period of 96 days, and that 96 days means New Year Day of January 1, 2026 to Easter Monday being yesterday of April 6, 2026. That should be a period of 96 days. And if you have a copy of that report, you will see all the explanations there. And we didn't just, if you know Inter-Society well, we didn't just arrive at that statistic. That means we have been documenting, we have been observing, tracking, monitoring, collecting, analyzing, and archiving the statistics of the killing of Christians and the abduction of others over a period of time. For instance, if you look at that report was built on our last general update of 19th March 2026. And from that general update of 19th March 2026, it was again built on our mother report of 26 February 2026. And in that mother report, we started from 2009 July to date, to that particular date. But we are talking about what has happened, what has taken place in the past 96 days. And that is to say, in the first 96 days or last 96 days of 2026, singling out the two epochal events, that is New Year Day and the Easter Monday, that is April 6, 2026. Statistics are there, locations are there, time are there. Time of incidents are there, incident scene locations are there, the affected states are there. Everything you need of the tabulation, the calculation, the statistics, everything, date, what have you, references, that is sources, both to primary, majorly secondary and sub-secondary sources of the data, collected data, they're all there.
Okay. So, how were you able to identify the religion of those people who were killed?
The same question that Nigerian government has been putting out there to defend what is indefensible. You read papers. If you have gone through the report, I'm sure you must have read that report. Maybe the question you are asking us is just to satisfy your audiences or something like that. So, but I'm putting this directly to you. If you have not read that report, go back and read it. Everything is explained there. You have the media report. You have groups report. You have Vanguard report there. You have some newspaper report there. You have Sahara Reporters report there. You have International Christian Concern report and many others. And they are telling, for instance, in the Palm Sunday of 28th, I think I'm correct, 29th March or thereabout, the Palm Sunday massacre in Jos Plateau State. The whole media arrived at a conclusion. Eyewitnesses accounts also corroborated the media report that those people who were killed were basically targeted because of their religion. And 900% of them are Christians. Less than 24 hours later, 3 more Christians were killed. Then again on Sunday, is it Easter Sunday? Easter Sunday. There was an attack, coordinated attack in Kaduna, targeting First Baptist Church and the St. Augustine Catholic Church. A number of people were killed there. They are reported. And so many other reports, like there was an attack in Chibok area. Chibok is a predominant Christian area located in a community in Chibok. Chibok is a local government. A community in Chibok. Boko Haram has been targeting the Chibok Christian returnees who have been living in what you call it, Cameroon for the past since 2012. And suddenly, recently, the government of the state encouraged them, some of them to return, and 12,000 of them out of 120,000 came back. And where they are camped, trying to be restored to their homes, and the goal for Boko Haram to got angry and say, no, we have taken over this area. This area is now Islamized. Is now, it now belongs to Sultanate of the under Boko Haram control. And since then, they have been attacking them, killing them, abducting them in hundreds. Then recently on that particular date, according to the report you have there, they went there, they struck there and killed 21 of them. And so many other reports. So that's your question, how do we identify where is Christian? I think it's part of state censorship. So we can understand the fact that you are trying to play safe.
Okay, so is...
But if you want to go through the report, you will see all the answers are there. No, there's no need of repeating the answer. They're all there.
Apart from the media report that you talked about, was there any other independent verification that your organization got involved in?
The same Nigerian script we are repeating. I think we have gone beyond that,
that
level. The same Nigerian script you are repeating. I think you are being. I understand you are playing safe under the circumstances.
No, we are not playing safe. We are probing. We are probing every information. Let me tell you. Let me ask you. Hold on. We have seen the
interrogate a report without reading it.
The
problem you people have is that you people don't. I mean, you fail to. Read the report.
We have every detail of your reports, and we have people listening to us.
So what are you now asking?
And the question
confusion there?
Of course, the question we are asking is on the credibility of reports.
What is credibility?
Now,
what is credibility?
We know very well. Hold on. We know very well that we have other agencies like yours that compile reports of this nation, and when they come on, we do ask the same questions. I know about armed conflict location and event data projects.
Let me come in here. Let me correct you before you go ahead.
Okay.
That society is not a media organization. That society is a human rights organization.
Okay, that one taken. I'm saying that we have other organizations. We have other organizations like armed conflict location and event data. I think what makes reports more credible is when questions are thrown at that, you'll be able to explain.
Can you hear me?
You don't. Okay, go on.
Going forward, Focus your attention on the report by Inter Society. Stop all these other organizations and what
hold on. Okay, I'm just trying to.
Are not using the same method.
That's what I'm saying.
Can you ask a question?
Because your data collection approach.
Another question.
Hold on. If you don't want us to probe you, don't worry. There's no point.
Why are you probing me?
No, we can. We have every right to probe your report.
Okay, just
we have.
You
can't sink your report for us and force it to us. No. We can probe it. That's journalism for you.
Okay, Tony, just hold on.
That's journalism. We can probe it.
Okay, hold on.
That's journalism.
Mr. Emeka?
Are you interrogating our report? Are you verifying? What are you seeking?
We can ask questions. We are asking questions.
Can you hear me?
The questions we are asking is part of probing.
Tony, just hold on.
I don't know if you are the anchor person. I want to speak to the anchor person.
No. Mr. Emeka, can you hear me?
You are making everything.
Okay. Now look at why we are asking these very questions.
Are you the anchor person? Is the anchor person the one talking to me?
Can you hear me? Yes.
Okay.
Now,
leave your guests out of it. Focus your question.
Hold on. First, let's talk. Hold on. Let's talk. Amnesty International is also into human rights reporting, and most times when Amnesty International brings out a report, they tell you the methodology. This is how we arrive at it. We depended on newspaper. We did we interviewed some persons, and they will tell you, okay, this is the way we arrive at this very report, and that's what we are asking. Apart from the newspaper reports, if there was any other independent probe by your organization to be able to corroborate the report in the papers.
Let me answer your question. If you have truly gone through that report, you will see where it was clearly stated. Media report that forms part of secondary report, sub-secondary report or sources report, and also eyewitnesses accounts. We have eyewitnesses who have built contacts over the years, network over the years. This thing we are doing has lasted for more than 16, 17 years, since 2009. And we have contacts all over the place. If you have read through the second segment of that report, you will see the reference to what is happening, a particular IDP center in Edo State. It was discovered in the course of our investigation. If we had relied on newspaper report only, we wouldn't have run into them. But in the course of our contact, the contacts we have in Boza, the contacts we have in Plateau, the contacts we have in Benue, the contacts we have in Southern Kebbi, Southern Bauchi, Southern Gombe, Southern Kaduna, and Southern Borno, and things like that. In Niger State, in about 6 local government areas in Niger, dominated by Christians, we have contacts all over the place. Like, for instance, there was one we investigated, to make sure that what media reported was in order. For instance, that last reference that has to do with Boko Haram attack in Kwaku. Kwaku is a Christian area in Chibok. We have to investigate it because the media wrote that there was no casualty. We have to now start activating our contacts over there. I say this thing that media people reported, for instance, our reporters reported it, some Punch newspaper reported it. Please, can you tell us what actually happened? And they clarified clearly, that these people, the community got wind of that attack, and most of them fled. So these people, when they stormed the area, they now have to set their houses, food houses, what have you, markets and places in anger, ablaze and what have you. So that tells you how deep we can go in verifying some of those reports. And meanwhile, when you cite a report, it is legible. When you put Sahara out of context, for instance, Sahara reporters say, Sahara reporters reported this, and you are not, and only for Sahara reporters to find out that you lied, then it is legible. You can be sued.
Okay, so you mentioned the IDP camp in Edo State. Are you talking about the one in Uhogwa?
Okay. Are you okay with this one now, so that we move to another one?
No, I'm asking a question about the IDP camp you mentioned that you went to. You spoke with the person in charge. You mentioned Pastor Solomon Folorunsho, founder of International Christian Center.
Now, you have anything to ask me about it?
No, the one you're talking about, is it the one located in Uhogwa, Edo State?
Yeah, it's contained in that report.
Oh, okay, so what
There
I'm
is
going...
no other one.
Okay,
The one that is contained in that report you are holding, assuming you have seen the report.
Okay, why I'm asking is that I'm in contact with Pastor Folorunsho. So after this very show, I'm going to speak with him because I was in that IDP camp about 7 years ago with Olisemeke Osemeke when we went there for a program. So I think we've been able to establish what we wanted to hear from you because we wanted to know, more about this very report has been put out. Now, as it stands now, so are you thinking that these Christians being killed are being targeted by the state? Is that what you are suggesting?
Well, we have, in a generally, both in times of positive activity and negative activity, you always have state actors and non-state actors as being behind any of the activity. So, in the context of persecution of Christians or killing of Christians in Nigeria and persecution of the church, you have the two actors, typically in the case of Nigeria, as those that are involved. You have non-state actors' involvement. You have state actors' involvement, either by way of conspiracy, by way of complicity, and by way of either vicarious or direct responsibility. So these two factors are very, very present in the present circumstances or situation in Nigeria, unlike in Democratic Republic of Congo, where the persecution of Christians is majorly concentrated in non-state actor angle or perspective or something like that.
Okay.
But in the case of Nigeria, you have two actors. You have state actors involvement and you have non-state actors involvement.
Okay, before we end, let's take this very opportunity to ask you a question regarding what happened sometime around January this year, around January 18, when a report came out in New York Times with a headline that your name was mentioned. That headline then read that New York Times, how a screwdriver trader in Onitsha influenced Trump's missile strike in Nigeria. Did you influence that U.S. attack in Nigeria?
Well, that was a clear incitement to genocide. That was exactly what led to Rwandan eruption of Rwandan genocide on April 9, 1994. Sorry, April 6, 1994. The York Times. So, see, I'm sorry, my brother. I have to first of all tender apology if some of you feel that I reacted angrily. If you look at what happened between us and the New York Times, we were very plain, we were very open, we were very harmless, because that lady has come here, visited us, visited this part of the country, and visited us about 3-4 times, talking about a lot of things, including Ezu River, this Obibo massacre, Army massacre, and what have you. So when she came, we never knew that New York Times, one of happens to be one of the organizations that exists for destruction of humanity. So that was it. Okay, otherwise, look at this question you asked me. How possible is it that a screwdriver salesman in Onitsha influenced Trump to go and bomb part of Nigeria? And the same bombing that the Nigerian security forces, came out and boldly admitted to have been jointly carried out by Nigerian armed forces and the American armed forces. So how come? So you could see why we now trust local media like yours than all those foreign media. In fact, in the past 48 hours and 24 hours, we have received about calls from more than 5 international media organizations. And we told them that they have to go back until we finish our background check on them, because we are aware that our dear presidency recently rolled out a lot of money, millions of dollars in international lobbying and what have you. So we don't know who has become a beneficiary of that lobbying, trying to erase traces of Christian genocide in Nigeria and what have you, and trying to propagate and internationalize a false narrative and what have you. But Udala FM, whereas we know Udala FM has some semblance of credibility. So that is my take on that. So we never did that. We innocently put out a report there. Meanwhile, they interviewed us on 16th of December. And published whatever they publish on on 26th of December. So how possibly is it or was it that interview carried out on 16th of December could retroactively or what have you, is it retroactively or I don't know how to put it, affect this decision of the United States government that took place on December Eve of 25 December of 2025. So this is part of the problems we have. Okay. You think you'll be talking to media, you do not know that you are talking to a conscienceless media outfit.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mekuma Badasi, the chairman of Intersociety. We appreciate your input on the program today. Thank you for joining us.
Apologies again if I reacted angrily.
All right. Noted. Thank you very much. All right.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you for joining the program. Okay. So we have to go for commercial break. Once we return, we will take reactions before we switch to other things we have on today's conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We are Udala Radio. Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
Special announcement. All traders and business owners affected by the ongoing demolition at Onitsha Main Market. An alternative is now available. West Africa Intercontinental Trade Center Limited, WETC, in partnership with the Anambra State Government, is building a modern commercial complex at Oze Nkwele Road Mechanic Village. Good news. All affected traders will receive free shops for 1 year, while the permanent shop clusters are being completed. To benefit from this opportunity, all affected traders and interested persons should visit the Onitsha Chamber of Commerce to obtain the expression of interest form. Location: opposite Shanahan University Gate, Basilica of the Most Holy Trinity Compound, GRA, Onitsha. Investors who wish to build modern shops for sale to subscribers can also obtain the forms. Note: only 16 clusters remain, and each cluster contains 272 shops. Don't miss this opportunity to secure a shop in the WETC Modern Trade Complex today. For inquiries, call 0803 786 6974 or 0813 644 5336.
With gratitude to God Almighty, the Ofoma family of Amwekulu Village, Ezinifite, Agwata local government area in Anambra State, announce the passing unto glory of a beloved husband, father, brother, uncle, grandfather, and father-in-law, Sir Nathan Ofoma, DMA, who departed at the age of 80 years. Burial arrangements: Tuesday, April 7, commendation service at All Saints Cathedral, Onitsha by 1 p.m. Wednesday, April 8, 5 p.m. Service of songs at his country home, Amwekulu Village, Ezinifite, Agwata local government area. Thursday, April 9, 10 a.m. Burial service at Emmanuel Anglican Church, Ezinifite. Condolence visit and reception of guests commence immediately after interment at Emmanuel Anglican Church Field. Friday, April 10, condolence visits and homage continue. Sunday, April 12, 8 a.m. outing service at St. Peter's Anglican Church, Ezinifite. Daddy, may your gentle soul rest in peace. Signed, Sir Chinedu Ofoma, for the family.
God be with you till...
The family of late Pa Josiah Ifeanyi Chukwuwandu of Eziakpaka Umudunu Village, Abagana, Anambra State, kindly invites you to the funeral ceremony of their beloved father, brother, grandfather, great-grandfather, late Pa Josiah Ifeanyi Chukwuwandu, fondly known as Ono Awado, aged 93 years old. Wednesday, 8 April 2026 by 5 p.m. service of songs and night of tribute at his compound in Eziakpaka Umudunu Village, Abagana. Thursday, 9 April 2026 by 9 a.m. funeral service at his compound by St. John's Anglican Church, Abagana, followed by condolence visits. Friday, 10th April 2026 by 1 p.m. condolence visit by friends and well-wishers at St. Peter's Anglican Church Field, Abagana. Sunday, 12th April 2026, Thanksgiving service at St. John's Anglican Church, Udoeke, Umudunu, Abagana. Papa, May your gentle soul rest in the bosom of the Lord Almighty. Signed, the J.I. Wando family.
I am the sound of revival. The world is waiting for me to be heard.
Are you ready for a divine encounter? Are you ready for chains to be broken and barriers shattered? The Assemblies of God Satellite Assembly Onitsha proudly presents Revival Fire. Theme: Breaking Barriers in All Ramifications. Join us for 3 power-packed days of intense worship, life-transforming word, and revival fire. Sunday, April 12 by 8 a.m., Monday, April 13 by 5 p.m., and Tuesday, April 14 by 5 p.m. Ministering live, Reverend Dr. Chidi Okorafo. Guest speaker, Reverend Dr. K.I. Ihekorone, Senior Pastor. Reverend Augustine Okonta, Assistant Pastor. Venue, AG Satellite Assembly, opposite Army Barracks, Onitsha. Come expecting healing, restoration, breakthrough, and unstoppable fire. Be there.
You are the change agents.
It is with hearts weighed down by unspeakable pain, yet bowed in humble total submission to the will of Almighty God. We, the entire Ezego and Uzochukwu family of Umezube Kindred, Mbudu Village, Ichida, Anocha local government area of Anambra State, announce the transition to glory of our beloved husband, father, grandfather, brother, uncle, brother-in-law, and father-in-law, whose life was a testament to courage, sacrifice, and enduring love. Late Mr. Uzochukwu Godfrey Onyaka as a bishop, 1952 to 2025. Burial arrangements: Tuesday, 7th of April 2026. Wake at his compound, Umwezube Kindred, Mbudu Village, Ichida, Anocha local government area. Wednesday, 8th April 2026, 6:30 a.m. Body leaves mortuary Ichida to his compound. 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. Lying in state at his compound. 10 a.m. Burial mass at St. Rita's Catholic Church, Mbudu Village, Ichida. Interment follows immediately after mass. Thursday, 9th of April 2026. Condolence visits by in-laws, friends, and well-wishers continue. Sunday, 12th April 2026. 9 a.m. Thanksgiving mass at St. Rita Catholic Church, Mbudu, Ichida. Signed, Uzochukwu Chukwuebuka, for the family. May the soul of Godfrey Uzochukwu rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Onitsha, are you ready? This is not your regular night out.
Another one.
This is Udala House Party. Live at Movie Lounge, 8 Park Road, GRA Onitsha, on April 10th, 2026 at 7 p.m. And guess what? Entry is free.
Involve me!
With vibes from DJ Famous, Prestige, Bucci, Ojugo, Edith, and Lisa, plus performances from DJ Fabulous, Tantawo, and the Obrigado. There will be games, 10 free casino slots for 10 lucky winners, board games, vibes, energy all night. Strictly 18 and above. And yes, it's gonna be live on air on Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Udala House Party this Friday. Make it a date. Brought to you by Udala Radio and Movie. Are you smart, confident, and ready to earn big? Do you have a passion for sales and marketing? Then listen up. Udala Radio 104.7 FM is calling on ambitious, result-driven individuals to join our team as marketers. No limits, no boundaries, just results and rewards. Work at your own pace, meet amazing clients, and grow your income. Sell it, share it, earn your way. Join Udala Radio and start today. Interested? Visit our station today at number 5 Okono Street, Onitsha, or call 0803-350-4206 or send your CV to udalaradio@gmail.com. Don't wait. Your success story starts here. Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. You're listening to the Polity. Get involved now.
Thank you for staying tuned to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. You are listening to the Polity Tuesday edition, the 7th day of April 2026. My name is Franklin Bekatoni Olisambeki is on the analysis desk, and we have to look at other things we have at this very moment. Before then, Tony, I want to make some reactions before we switch to other political developments in the polity.
Yes, I actually wanted to make a reaction because just like we said earlier on, the work of the media is to probe everything. Anything that is being bandied, we have work to do, and the work is to go through that first. After going through that, we digest that and we ask questions. The questions we are asking is for the public, is in the interest of the public, and also to make things more easier and then explainable, to the general public. We must encourage those who try as much as they can to collect data. Data collection is not easy, no doubt. Either through the primary source or the secondary source, or even the tertiary source. Because when we talk about data collection, the primary source has to do with going to the places where these things happened. Meeting the victims and then the survivors, collect their testimonies, document everything, and get every demography about them, tabulate them. You can also triangulate them. That is the primary source. And then when you talk about the secondary source has to do with the already collected data and reported either by media agencies and other. Of course, these two combined together will give you a credible and more resounding information. But the key thing is we must probe, just like I always say. Because if you look at different organizations, you have ACLEAD, of course, I've talked about Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project. They are everywhere in the world. You also talk about Amnesty, they're everywhere in the world. Of course, you talk about Inter-Society, that are primarily here in Nigeria. And I can also mention so many other people. They have different methods of data collection. I'm not in any way trying to discredit anything, no. But when you bandy that we have about 1,408 people killed between January 1st and April 6th, everybody, just like you said, everything has been stated in your report. How the data were collected, how this were done, how that were done, and also the reliability of media, reports and all that. But for clarity's sake, there could be more probing, because there are those that will tell you, as far as they are concerned, that if you tell them that 1,408 persons were killed in Nigeria, they will tell you that the figure is not really the way they feel it should be. They may think it's more lesser than what is being talked about. Then others will tell you that the number is small compared to what they think. Because we have places in Nigeria where some of these things happen without being reported. Without being reported. There are some rural places where incidents of such happen, even in the farmland. Because it is where journalists were able to access, or anybody who has access to a journalist, possibly call a journalist to see, to cover what happened, where such was not done. It is unreported. Yes, we have unreported, reported, and also reported. These are different categories. But that's why I said this should be in the realm of estimation. But because if you look at the headline, 1,408 Nigerians killed in 96 days, of course, that's a good sensational one. But the truth remains that it is still within the realm of estimation, because there are things that happen that we may not be aware of. That's the point I'm trying to make. And then probing the method of data collection is important, because I keep saying this. I'm a statistician. Take it anywhere. My friends in UNA know me. I'm a statistician. I know much about data collection, sampling methods, and survey practices. These are my areas, no doubt. So when I say I want to ask questions, it's good that he tendered apology for maybe not just to. We are not here to discredit your report. We are here to amplify the clarity and get explanations. That's all right.
So let's talk about ADC, because ADC has been in the news. No thanks to the move which was made by INEC by de-recognizing the National Working Committee led by David Mark. And since then, it hasn't been easy for ADC. ADC has been saying that they are going to go on with their National Convention and Congresses. Whether INEC comes to monitor or not is immaterial, provided that it has given INEC the 21 days notice. But what is in the media this very moment is that ADC is saying that INEC deliberately laid a landmine for ADC, and the plot seems to be to ensure that ADC doesn't have any candidates for 2027 election. Tony, these allegations by ADC, is there any credence to it?
Well, from what is going on, anybody who is a spectator or somebody who is neutral in this game, because it's one thing to be neutral. Neutral is in the sense you don't have interest in either side. If you are a member of ADC, you are not neutral. If you're also a member of the ruling party, you are not neutral. A neutral in this case is somebody who is of no membership to any of this. So I think the key thing is, for those who are in ADC, they have what it takes to justify the allegations. They have what it takes to justify, and if you ask them what are those things, they will tell you that INEC misread appeal court judgment, misinterpreted it. And the scenarios Amopitan was trying to refer to, Zamfara case and other places he mentioned, they are not the same thing with ADC case. Zamfara has to do with the leadership of the party in Zamfara state, not national leadership of PDP. Not national leadership of APC at that time. Because APC had factions in Zamfara state. And because of these factions, they were doing their things differently. And when they fielded candidates, and the court nullified the candidates they fielded, that it did not follow the electoral process. And declared a candidate as not being qualified at the time of the election. That was how the man Yare became governor, because he came second in that election. The candidate of APC was disqualified. It's not a case of national leadership crisis. That is why I think it was a misapplication by Amopitan. He didn't apply the two scenarios very well.
Let's put this into context and know whether INEC made any point there or not. Because on Thursday night, there was a statement which was issued by the Chief Press Secretary to INEC Chairman, Adedayo Oketola, where he clarified that there was a timeline which guided the action of INEC. He said that it was on the 9th of September 2025 that INEC accepted and approved the remarks A school. Went ahead to upload it on its website and what have you not. And that came 7 days after the matter was filed at the Federal High Court by Bala Nafiu. So that this is what guided their action, because it began to recognize David Mark Esco on the 9th of September, 7 days before the action was filed. That informed its decision. But when you put it on a larger context, the question will now be, if before that very date, does that mean that there was vacuum in leadership of ADC?
I think if you look at ADC timeline, because we are now looking at their timeline, measuring their timeline, they had a new caretaker committee when they had Bala filed on 2nd of September, and then INEC uploaded and acknowledged and recognized Mark leadership on the 9th of September, that you have done that. And there was that the fact that somebody filed a suit before a court does not in any way confer actionable acts. What do I mean? Then you file a suit, then the court hasn't spoken. You can only listen to the courts. There was never a vacuum, because what we saw was Rafu Kenwosu, NWC being dissolved, and David Mark led NWC constituted in the presence of INEC, monitored by INEC, acknowledged by INEC, and INEC doing the recognition accordingly. And we are told, even when the constitution of the new NWC led by Mike was done, Bala Nafiu Bala was there. He was clapping. We've seen the video. When ADC NWC led by Ralph Nwosu, because the one led by Ralph Nwosu, Bala was the deputy national chairman, not Ralph Nwosu. And they were all together in this. The very day the NWC was dissolved, I've seen the video. He was there. When they were constituted, led by he was clapping. Look at what happened. Look at what happened. There was agreement, because we are now going beyond the law. There was an agreement that Bala Nafiu will retain his position as deputy national chairman in the David Mark-led NWC.
No. Are you making reference to what Abu Elisha said? Because ADC had also said there was nothing like that.
ADC has also said that there was nothing like that. ADC under who?
ADC under Mark, saying that in the course of the formation of the news,
there was no agreement. That's what they are trying to.
There was no agreement.
I'm just trying to tell you, Bala on his own account, of course, and those who were close to him, not about Elisha Abu. He was promised. It was not contractual promise, and he felt that being a part of those who were ushering in a new ADC, that at least he could be given a position. His anger, because he looked at it this way, ADC felt that you have Babashir Lawas, we always know, from the northeast, that we can't have Babashir Lawa, because Nafiu Bala is a young man, very young. I don't know if he's up to 40 years. Balo Nafiu Gombe, very young. I don't know if he's up to 40 years. And you can't have somebody like Babashir Lawa from the northeast and make Nafiu Balagombe the deputy national chairman.
But Tony, is it about age? I'll give you an instance.
It's not about age. I'm not in support of that. No. I'm not in support of that. No, it's not about age. I'm not in support of that. I'm just trying to relate what happened from verifiable sources. So what happened was, this young man felt that he did not even thrown open. You can't just, because it was a caretaker committee, any appointment, they made it in such a way that it wasn't also stated that this is just caretaker committee. By the time they would be either made to take those positions substantially, that it will go this way. The young man was given, I think, a deputy financial secretary or the other, or what have you. And he felt so bad. And he was able to meet David Mark. He met David Mark. David Mark will not say he didn't meet him. He met David Mark and complained. He met so many of them and complained that he was holding this position before. That Ralph was to promise him that he will be retained. David Mark did not promise him. It was a promise rendered to him by Ralph Okenwosu, who was the then national chairman of the ADC, that just he should relax, be part of the whole process, support the process, that there is tendency, and Ralph did not promise him wholeheartedly that he will get it. But that was just what happened.
Does that mean that the genesis is that there was no due diligence in the resolution of the NWC and then the launch of the new one?
Yes, because the truth remains that many of them, of course, I don't want to go into the genesis, because you cannot tell me that money did not part hands. Nobody will hold up to something as a politician and he relinquishes that without something being given. No politician does it. I'm a national deputy chairman of ADC, and then all of a sudden I'll give up my position without anything. Something was given, but he felt that there could be something that would be added, that he should retain. He wanted to retain his position in the new NWC, but he was not assured of that. But the truth remains that when it was given to Babashir Lawa, the young man started complaining, running to everybody, and that was how he disowned the resignation letter he wrote. I have verified that he was the one that wrote that resignation letter. He wrote it, yes, but he disowned it because of the fact that he wasn't given what he was requesting. He was requesting deputy national chairman of ADC. He was not given that. That was how somebody introduced him.
So if all these things are out there, supposedly should be evidence that the NWC led by Mark can present before the court to prove their case. So what it now means is that the onus is on them to get all this verified and go to the court and prove their case. But I'm looking at how tight the rope that ADC is to walking down is working on now. You know, looking at the timeline for different political activities ahead of the election. We are counting less than 10 months before the election, and there's already a timeline for party primaries party congresses and what have you not. It's already stated. And these parties have between, I think, April 13th and May 29th or thereabout for them to have their for them to have their primaries.
Yeah.
And the ADC is working on this very tightrope. No recognized national leadership. This one is not easy. It's not even the issue of PDP. Say, okay, this faction can go ahead and do this. That for now, nobody is going to do anything. And if they fail to do anything within this very timeline provided by INEC, based on the Electoral Act of 2026, what are the chances that this party will be able to surmount this challenge and be able to field candidates for the 2027 general election?
Well, they have to be very discerning. Discerning in the sense that they have to employ wisdom and law. These two things must be combined. They are saying that they are going to go on with their convention as planned. And INEC has no power to stop their convention. But I would also advise them, they can go to any federal high court to get legitimacy that their convention should continue. They have to have a backup, because what I'm suspecting, let me say this, few days to the convention, they will be planning, I'm suspecting it, few days to the election, they will be planning convention, they will be putting resources together, there will be a court order stopping the convention. And once there is a court order stopping the convention, is now going to wear the Ibadan convention look. But if they are listening, they should try and see if they can get a court order, even if it's a state high court order.
Okay, so why they are doing that? Like you said, they should explore different avenues. You know, use the legal means, also use wisdom.
Yeah.
If at this point in time that these people can sit on a round table and say, Bala Muhammad or Bala Gombe Nafiu, how do we settle you to withdraw the case?
Now,
would that be a solution?
No, I don't think. Bala Nafiu Gombe has been compromised. Even if you offer him the position of deputy national chairman, he's not going to take it, because from unconfirmed report, he's working hand in hand with some powers that be, and he has been assured of a lot of things. He has become the destabilizing agent or material. Even if you offer him, Bala, come, you will say no, let's allow the court process, because there are those beating the drums for him.
Now, but for the court process to finish or get to the last point, time is of essence. We know how our courts are when it comes to dealing with issues of litigation. It takes everlasting and forever for them to deal with issues like that.
Yeah.
So now, given that the fact that ADC is walking a tightrope, like I said, and if eventually they don't get to fulfill what is required, they stand the chance of losing that entirely.
Let me say this thing. Probably that's where we are getting it wrong. INEC timetable is very infinitesimal to court judgment. INEC timetable, or which is their guideline, has no place whenever there is court order. Let's assume, without conceding, or let's assume this, that FDC probably with this court whole thing, at the end of the day, the timetable or the timeline given by INEC is overshot or goes beyond. Once court says anything, even if election is tomorrow, it must be done.
Now, if the court says recognize David Mark-led NWC,
yes,
but the court is silent on, okay, ADC, go ahead and conduct primaries.
Now, the issue of nomination, membership, and at the same time leadership of a political party, Supreme Court has held many times, is non-justiciable by any court. And that is what ADC is challenging. They are not even challenging that whether Bala Nafiu Gombe was given the the assistant financial, deputy financial secretary of the party or not, or what he is doing. Their contention is the Federal High Court has no jurisdiction on the matter brought before it. Right, so that it has to do with issue of leadership. It has no. That's their contention.
Let's hold on here now, because we have commercials to attend to. So let's attend to these very commercials. Once we return, we'll take some calls and then have some time to also bring in some other analysis on this very issue. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Polity. Get involved now.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
Onitsha, una done ready for the biggest Easter shutdown. Golden Promise Entertainment presents Easter Golden Fiesta. One massive night of music, comedy, and correct vibes. It happens Sunday, April 12, 2026 from 5 p.m. till dawn for Onitsha Mall ShopRite. Host for the night, MC Bim and MC Feargod. Music policy by Emmy Black, Ivado, and Sparkle T. Laughter with comedians like Twin Parrots, Prince Neche, 5 Naira, Dibia Update, Holy Baba, and Sister Equitos, plus live performances from Mweze and CJ Ozugo, and DJs will go keep the party hot all night. DJ Staffy, DJ Y Barrel, DJ Two Step, DJ Tony Banks, DJ Freezy, and DJ NK. Tickets they go fast. Regular 2,000 Naira, VIP 5,000 Naira, VVIP table for 5, 200,000 Naira. For sponsorship, bookings, and enquiries, call 0814-394-2802 or 0808-441-5156. Easter Golden Fiesta, the party we on nature go talk about. Supported by Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
Please listen to this important information on your good health. Do you know that many deaths nowadays are caused by ignorance on drug abuse? Do you know that many males and females now resort to the consumption of unhygienic concoctions for the treatment of various diseases? Do you know that some even take their lab results to traditional healers for interpretation? Now listen, abuse of scientific or traditional drug destroys the body system mechanism and it kills. Consumption of expired, adulterated, substandard and unpasteurized traditional herbal mixture could lead to health complications. So detoxification of the body and restoration of the functional organs is always necessary for your good health.
This message is sponsored by Anti-Drug Abuse Incorporated Headquarters, Annex Sunshine Hospital, number 4 Obanye Street, Onitsha, Anambra State, Nigeria. 08033206819.
Drug abuse is an enemy to your good health. Be warned.
Join Anti-Drug Abuse Health Education every Wednesday by 8:45 a.m. on Udala Radio 104.7 FM Onitsha.
I want to yarn on the latest where they happen. When the poor often don't enter for town. You want to upgrade your car, it day in town. For motorway get accident, you go make and tantam. Our integrity stand first in everything we do, and we deliver worldwide. This is the latest update when I get for you. If your motor spoil and you want to fix some more, if you want to repaint some motor, power often they run a more. If I'm a financial, you go buy a car and you put the autolocas, they go power often Nanyoba. Maybe I will move on again or the tam can kick off. You repent motor, go motor will accident. Put an autolocal power off. I know to not have a motor number or Babu officer autolocas bus stop along Owerri Road. Oba. For more inquiry, why not 090-1100-2200. Angelo Tolo, the best.
Admission. This is to inform the general public about the entrance examination into Mata Amabli Secondary School, Umoji, Anambra State. It is an all-boarding secondary school for girls managed by the Catholic Archdiocese of Onitsha, which admits both Catholic and non-Catholic students. It is strategically located along Mpo Umoji Road, roughly 10 minutes drive from Mpo Junction. The exam will be for the prospective students of JSS1, JSS2, SS1 and SS2 classes. Date is Saturday, 11th April 2026. Venue, Mata Amabli Secondary School, Umoji. Time 9 a.m. Forms are currently on sale in the school and will also be available on the exam day. For more inquiries, call 080-3645-6040, 080-3645-6040 or 090-2859-8799, 090-2859-8799. Signed, Management.
An award-winning institution in Po, Idemili North Local Government Area of Anambra State, seek to engage the services of qualified and competent personnel. Applications are invited from suitably qualified candidates for the position of a physics teacher. Applicants must possess a bachelor's degree in physics, engineering, or a related field from a recognized institution. The institution is also in need of a secretary. Interested candidates must have excellent typing skills, be computer literate, and demonstrate proficiency in Microsoft Office applications. Remunerations is very attractive. If you meet these requirements, please call 0806 332 8427 0806 332 8427. This is your opportunity to be part of excellence.
The land is green.
For too long, realtors have walked alone. No structure, no protection, no unified voice. That era ends now. Welcome to the Realtors Summit 2026, a historic gathering that will redefine real estate in Anambra and Asaba. The Anambra Asaba Realtors Association, a platform for unity, influence, and collective power. And beyond that, a Realtors Welfare Initiative built to support you when it matters most. Strengthen your career and secure your future in the industry. At this summit, you'll discover smarter ways to close and scale, multiple income channels in real estate, and strategies that move you from hustle to ownership and authority. Featuring Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki of Udala FM, Lovelyn Chinenye Nana, Property Boss, and Mr. Jude Igwebike, IT Professional. Date 2nd May 2026. Time 11 a.m. Venue 5-star Restaurant Hall, Stock Exchange, Onitsha. This is not for everyone, but for realtors who are ready to rise. For inquiries, call 0803 276 0653. This summit is free, powered by Nebek Real Estate Limited.
It's green.
Junior Weekend! Onitsha, are you ready? This is not your regular night out.
Another one.
This is Udala House Party. Live at Movie Lounge, 8 Park Road, GRA Onitsha, on April 10th, 2026 at 7 p.m. And guess what? Entry is free.
Involve me!
With vibes from DJ Famous, Prestige, Bucci, Ojugo, Edith, and Lisa. Plus performances from DJ Fabulous, Tantawo, and the Obrigado. There will be games, 10 free casino slots for 10 lucky winners, board games, vibes, energy all night. Strictly 18 and above. And yes, it's gonna be live on air on Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Udala House Party this Friday. Make it a date. Brought to you by Udala Radio and Movie. Are you smart, confident, and ready to earn big? Do you have a passion for sales and marketing? Then listen up. Udala Radio 104.7 FM is calling on ambitious, result-driven individuals to join our team as marketers. No limits, no boundaries, just results and rewards. Work at your own pace, meet amazing clients, and grow your income. Sell it, share it, earn your way. Join Udala Radio and start today. Interested? Visit our station today at number 5 Okono Street, Onitsha, or call 0803 350 4206 or send your CV to udalaradio@gmail.com. Don't wait. Your success story starts here. Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM. You're listening to the Polity. Get involved now.
You are listening to The Polity on Udala Radio 104.7 FM. It's 10:44 a.m. and we're going to hit the phone lines right away. Please, when you call in, take 1 minute, make a contribution. Try to articulate your thoughts so that you'll be able to give us a punch. 0803-221-6973 or 0803-827-6694. My name is Franklin Antonio Disambeki. With me this very morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Okay, try again. Let's see whether we're going to have a better connection on that very one. And don't forget, you can also use our Facebook page, Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Get on that very platform, drop your comment. We are going to acknowledge your comment by the time we want to go to our Facebook post. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, please try again, and to reach us, let's get to talk about this development. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name?
My name is Honorable Denzel, Mayor Okuchukume JP Okulora Otendo Umezenekenobi. Can I go on?
Yes, Mayor, go on.
Yes. First of all, I want to thank Tony. There was a time I was speaking with him. He said that he tries to partake every information, and even his own should be partaking. And then that's what he's trying to do when that guest calls. But it's like the guest try to play smart, a kind of. But all the same, so Tony Olisambeke, you are doing well. I want to say something here. The way the politics of Nigeria is going is not the way it ought to go. I don't know the reason behind the APC government wouldn't have to have challenge in an election in a country like this. They are trying their possible means to make sure that ADC doesn't appear in the ballot, knowing fully well that the ADC is the person that the political party that will bring the person that can challenge the sitting president. I don't know if they want to make Tinubu a vice president or what, because the way things are going, I foresaw that even after 2027, if he managed to take himself in that seat again, he would like to make himself a vice president. But God forbid that. Then insecurity in Nigeria.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please, we said take 1 minute because we are battling with time. So for us to manage this very time, so that all right. Okay. So who do we have here? Hello. Good morning. Hello. Okay, don't forget that we also live on our Facebook page, Udala Radio 104.7 FM. You can get on the page and drop your comment. We're going to acknowledge them. Iko Okam, who dropped a comment on our Facebook page, we appreciate you for following us. Likewise, Blessed, we also appreciate you. So let's get back to the phone line. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Your name?
My name is Oscar Ibuti.
Your name is what?
I'm from Oscar Ibuti.
Could you be more audible?
Yeah?
All right. Okay. Please, like I said, if you call, be articulate so that we'll be able to manage the time we have. Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Wonderful morning to you, Franklin. Good morning.
You're welcome.
Very good Easter holiday ahead of all of us. Honorable Dike ringing from Onitsha.
Go on, Dike.
Going straight to the point. Let me state that the ADC, just like the Honorable Speaker have pointed out, needed not only to go to the courts, they need to explore every option must be put in place. Yes, they need to explore, they need to go to the High Court, an injunction to back up what they're doing. But don't forget that those who are hunting them can still go a day before that and get a counter injunction. That is why I say that they need to raise their game the more. What they need to do, they must have to think of another political party that they can switch over to. That's another option for them. Then they need to engage the Washington. They needed not to let go. They need to engage the U.S. government, who is already here. They can refresh on their presence here and what is happening to also present their case. And I keep saying this thing, people don't understand it. Election rigging is what triggers agitation and terrorism. There are people that you rig their mandate, they can go to any length to frustrate your government. They have a very good case. You can't come in a country like Nigeria, have a one-party state, a country that an administration that have already been indicted by the U.S., that are paying the bandits and paying the terrorists. You don't negotiate with terrorists and bandits. Now, even at that, Sheikh Gumi have also come out to say that the government of this administration knows these terrorists by their name.
Okay,
know where they live, know their location, everything about them. Are we going the way of Lebanon? We are terrorists with the attacking government, we'll be looking the other way around.
All right, thank you,
We are
DK.
almost there.
Thank you, DK. You clocked almost 2 minutes. Please try to manage a minute so that we'll be able to give others the opportunity to also add their view on this very issue we have this morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, yes, your name?
This is Akamere.
Go on, Mr. Camera.
Yes, and I'm calling from Fegi.
Okay.
I want to say something on this ADC.
Okay.
We have known what is happening. We know, why the INEC box, all these things that INEC box is kind of doing, is because somebody have written those things for him, so that he will be, a drag ADC, so that they will not have any candidate, because they know that these people now, they have come out to fight APC. That is the reason why all these things is happening. Forget about the way INEC was going, but the kind of prediction I want to give here today is this, that the court will support INEC box. You will see tomorrow, the court will just dissolve this David Mark-led chairmanship. You will see it, because I know that this APC-led administration will go there now, spoil the mind of the court, give them money, so that they will just, give anyhow order to stop this ADC from having a candidate. So we know what is happening.
Right.
We thank Udala so much, because you guys are really trying.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Camera. So we have to go to our Facebook page now. Master SJ says INEC should be more transparent. He posted from Onitsha. Izochukwu Ojingwa says maybe we should hand over INEC to Russia, just as we did hand tax to France. IK John Wonsa says he posted from Asaba. He says Nigeria politics is getting worse day by day instead of progressing. And he says, let's pray that God will help us. Okay. Udala Aloysius says, going by the latest attack and killings, it's enough and easy for one to believe it is a religious target. From all evidence, most of all attacks have been carried out either to the place of worship or direct to the people going back after worshiping. Our question to answer is, when will the security agencies and federal government consider these killings and attacks serious consideration and fight them for all? Okay. He posted from Mobanam. And another reaction here is from Meke Gonas. He says, the way things are going in Nigeria, it seems the APC-led government has finally succeeded in crippling every other party for them to retain power in the upcoming election. And then we have this very one from Komunyo Keke, who says he posted from Ojoto. Okay, talking about gas. Okay, by the way, so I think for now it's not the issue for us to concentrate on. He says he's saying that the figures quoted by Intersociety are small compared to what we have in the country. Mbichiobi says, he posted from Ihiala. He says, please, we shouldn't politicize it. Everybody must work together. And Basilugu says, my fear is not whether ADC is right or INEC is right. My fear is that elections in Nigeria may start getting decided before Nigerians even vote. If a party is tied down by court cases, leadership disputes, and deadlines, it can be pushed out of the race without voters having any say. Okay. I say today it may be ADC, tomorrow it could be other opposition parties. So thank you for your post. I had to cut this short. Then some other persons, Iken Ekuruke and Dr. Mrs. Molebara, blessed Rochwati Obiawi Kechuku. We thank you all for the messages they drop. We are top time, that's why we cannot take all of them now. So Tony, the issue at hand now is the chance the ADC has, what they could be doing now to salvage their future in 2027.
Of course, just like I said earlier on, courts, most places in the world have been able to make democracies to stand. But Nigerian courts, for whatever reason, I don't know. But the key thing is they may explore other options as we have advocated here. And somebody suggested thinking of a new political party. And
can they make it at this point in time? If they are going to move to a new party, they need to register. And
existing party, not really.
No, if they go for existing party now, and there is a provision in the electoral act that the party register must be with INEC
21 days before.
21 days.
Yeah, of course.
So do they have time to do that?
I think there is too little time. But these are things they will be considering. They must have option A, option B, option C, and option D. They must have their options lined out. If this one fails, this one comes in. If this one fails, and we're not going to be here because they have not consulted us to tell them how these options can be well built up, that's the only way to go. Somebody said he doesn't trust Nigerian courts, even when Supreme Court has said issue of leadership of a political party should not be justiciable to any court. But we've seen the federal high courts and high courts adjudicating on such matter. Who confers them that jurisdiction is a question. The truth is, everywhere I perceive corruption, everywhere, every angle. But one thing I've always said, with the way things are going, it seems that the election 2027 is fiat accompli. But I'll leave it at that.
Okay, so at this point we have to end today's conversation. So we thank you for joining us. We also ask you to stay tuned to Udala Radio 104.7 FM because we have other programs lined up for your listening pleasure. By 11 is going to be music, then 12 news, and then 12:30 is going to be Cherry Box. Thank you for listening. My name is Frank Nebika. Good morning.
Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
gee ntị n'ọgwa dị oke mkpa. Nke a bụ iji wee gwa ọha na eze ọzọ banyere ahịa ọgbara ọhụrụ a na-akpọ WAITC iji wee nabata ndị niile bụ ndị akwaturu shọpụ ha n'Ọnịcha Main Market. West African Intercontinental Trade Center Limited WAITC bụ njikọta aka ọnụ ọha na eze na nke ndị nnọrọ